Hey everybody, Nate here with BDS Suspension. Today I've got a 2021 Ram 1500. This has the Hemi e-torque engine in it, and I'm pretty excited about this because it's also the air ride. So we're going to actually install our 4-inch suspension system on this truck. If you actually want to learn how to install this kit, check out the link in the description below. We have a whole how-to video on how to install this suspension system. But for right now, let's get it to our engineers, get it in the shop so we can upfit this thing, get some bigger wheels and tires on it. We are riding on a BDS 4-inch suspension system for the Ram air ride setup. So there's not too many air ride kits out there for these trucks, and that's for a good reason. These air ride trucks are very finicky to work with. If you aren't comfortable working on your own truck, I 200% suggest that you bring this truck to a certified BDS installer, have them install the kit, and just no worries, no problems, no questions asked. You've got a good looking truck when you're done that's going to function properly. Or if you're just a natural MacGyver, knock yourself out, try and install it. So with this BDS suspension 4-inch lift for the air ride Rams, it is a full 4 inches taller than the factory ride height. We get a lot of questions in some of our videos when they ask for certain lifts, like how much taller is it? Well, for this one, 4 inches. Let's talk about the features and components that go into a 4-inch suspension system for the Ram 1500 air rides. Now, the first thing I want to talk about are the crossmembers. They're super heavy duty steel construction. They're a high clearance design, so when you're off-road, you can feel rest assured that you can get as much ground clearance as you can get when you're going over obstacles. They help reposition the lower control arms to be in a better operating angle, and they have a nice BDS badge right there in front so everyone knows you bought the best. We're gonna make a turn, no one's there. Woo, that torque is good. The next thing I want to talk about are the heavy duty knuckles, because when you're buying a BDS suspension system, that's one of the biggest key components that a lot of people go with our kits for are the knuckles. Because if you hold our knuckle up to the competition or just the factory knuckle that you're replacing, you're going to learn real quick BDS doesn't mess around. The knuckle is going to be taller than factory, obviously, and that's to help reposition a lot of things. So what it does is it repositions the upper control arm, the tie rods, as well as your CV joints, all to be in factory operating angles. That way they work just as they should. They're not going to prematurely wear out or any of that stuff. They're going to be working as they should. The 4 inches of lift is achieved with our strut spacer that goes on top of the actual strut. It's a gusseted steel construction that is very heavy duty, designed for you to use and abuse this truck. On top of that, or inside of the strut spacer, would be the new air fittings that we provide with this lift system. So you'll have new air fittings that'll fit into the actual airbag itself, and then the new airline will plug into the factory air system, reassuring that everything works just fine. Besides the high quality build construction of everything, the other things that separate a BDS suspension lift from say your competitor lifts is that there are more components that go into our systems. We have relocation brackets for everything, basically. So anything with the driveline that needs to be slightly adjusted or anything like that, so it works as if this truck drove from the factory this way, we've got it covered. So the actual differential, we have 3 different brackets that drop it down and get it into the right factory operating position. We have the sway bar drops as well, so those drop the sway bar down just, again, factory operating angles, because that's what we're going for here, is to have a lifted truck that drives just like you bought it new. With all those little pieces and brackets working together, it ties in multiple locations around the frame, making this a very solid, rigid setup that just makes this truck feel very solid. Solid, rigid setup that makes it feel solid. Not trying to sound like a salesman here, but hey, I work for BDS Suspension. I'm driving an air ride Ram with our 4-inch kit, and I feel great. Like, this truck just rides so smooth. We replaced the actual brake lines to give you longer heavy-duty brake lines to work with the suspension as well. So when you're at full droop, nothing's going to get kinked in the brake lines, nothing's going to get pulled out or torn or anything. You've got heavy-duty braided brake lines from BDS Suspension that will actually work with the full droop of the suspension and not get caught up or hung up on anything. Now around back for this truck, kind of a similar setup. We have the spacers on top of the airbags back there as well. We have extended sway bar links, so we're not actually relocating the sway bar on the rear, we're actually giving you longer links that way. And then we also have relocation brackets for the upper control arms, so everything gets repositioned for the best possible wheel travel that you can get out of the suspension. As far as the shocks go for this truck, and yes, there are shocks that are involved with an air ride truck. They're in the rear. We start out with the NX2 series shocks that you can get with this suspension system, or if you want to take things up a notch, you can go with the Fox 2.0 Performance Series shocks. They're an aluminum body, they work great. That's what is currently upfitted to this truck right now, and just being flat honest with you guys, this truck is just gliding down the road. I feel like I'm on a bunch of pillows right now. Probably the main reason that you're watching this video is you're wanting to know, okay, what size wheel and tire package can I fit on this truck? I'm too lazy to go to the website. Can you just tell me what it is? Got you, fam. What this truck has is a 35, 12, 50, 18. So we got 35-inch tires, 12.5 inches wide, 18-inch wheels. If you want to do a 20-inch wheel, that's also an option. It has to be a 35-inch tire, 1250, and then you can do a 20. The back spacing for both of those wheel setups is 5 inches, and you're golden. We specify a 35-inch tire because that's as big as we can go without doing any sort of trimming. Now, if you want to get the hacksaws or sawzalls out, knock yourself out, fit as big a tire as you want. I feel like that I shouldn't have said that, because now someone's going to go and chop it up, and then they're going to blame me. The thing that I would call like putting like the cherry on top as far as when you're getting a BDS suspension lift system is the warranty and everything that goes into that. So you got the no fine print warranty, where if it's a non-wearable part and you break it, say you're out on the trail and you're like, oh no, I completely smashed this on a rock, and you somehow manage to break a part, you give BDS suspension a call, say, hey dude, totally broke apart, and they'll be like, awesome man, we got a new one coming in the mail for you. And then from there, life's good. And then the other thing is that this is a brand new truck. I mean, these things aren't cheap. And when you want to modify it, lift it, and all that kind of stuff, you're thinking to yourself, boy, I'm going to void the warranty on this brand new expensive truck. Not really the case with a BDS suspension lift. We've got what's called the 560 Plus protection, and if you go to our website called 560plus.com, it'll show you how everything is completely covered for your factory warranty. So if you haven't noticed from the outside of this truck, big old word that says Swagger on the side. And what we did there is we actually teamed up with the guys over at Swagger Magazine. This is their truck. We upfitted it with our BDS suspension lift, and they're going to use it for all their promotional materials and stuff when they go around the country with their magazine shoots and all that kind of stuff. We were just really happy to team up with them so they could get a nice, good riding truck that looks awesome. Thanks for watching the video, everyone. I hope it was semi-informative for you guys to see how our suspension system works with the new air ride systems for Ram trucks. If you want to learn more about this, make sure you go to bds-suspension.com. Make sure you check us out on social media, so give us a like on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and please subscribe to us on YouTube. And for right now, I'm going to keep driving this truck. We'll see you guys next time with the next truck.